Hello, my friends. For today's reading, we're starting off with the hummingbird. This card did not fall from the deck. A hummingbird came and peered in my window a few minutes before I started this reading, and that's why I chose the hummingbird, or I'm assuming that the hummingbird has a message for you. And let me see. I actually bought this for myself, but I have rarely used it. I have a full-size version of this deck and book, but right now I am using the pocket-sized one, which is harder to navigate because it's small and I haven't used it much, so it's not broken in at all in terms of the book. The cards are easier because they're smaller and they fit in the screenshot better. Anyway, all right, hummingbird, positive, enthusiastic, spiritually resourceful. I guess it's time for you to be spiritually resourceful. All right. Inside the tiny hummingbird resides an endless well of energy and positivity. I think you might need the positivity. That's my guess. The hummingbird's secret is that it has learned where to gather nectar, and it returns to these sources daily for nourishment and rejuvenation. This sacred elixir springs from many sources, but usually involves nature, creativity, and exploring spirituality. Follow the way of the hummingbird and you cannot go wrong. Every droplet of life becomes sweet, every moment worth savoring. When in balance, smart, curious, loves to learn. When out of balance, pushy, insistent, sharp. To bring into balance, take a class. From what I'm seeing so far, I think this is a reading for those who are in a spiritual connection. It seems like I typically read for the ones who are resistant to being in the connection, and resistant to change, and resistant to spiritual growth and healing. So the spiritual aspects of this message, I think, are the ones that are most important. Also, learning to bring yourself into balance, you have to be willing to learn about spirituality, to learn about healing, as well as doing the healing work. So I think that's the hummingbird's message for you. In part, I'm saying this because you have the devil in reverse right underneath this hummingbird. So the devil in reverse is about recognizing that you have the power to heal. So the devil in the upright, it's possibly something to do with sexuality, but also anything that is a bad habit, a vice, an addiction, something that you feel is binding you, that is not, in fact, binding you. So I like to use the example of thinking you can't get out of a bad marriage, or maybe there's a job you think you can't leave. Any kinds of these situations can also be represented by the devil, because they are things that you can change. You have the power to change them. You just aren't doing it. I'm not saying it'd be easy, but to say that you can't do it, that you're unable to do it, that you're hopeless and helpless, this is the lie. And that is what the devil is about. Telling yourself that lie. That you can't do anything about X, Y, or Z, or that in fact it's not really a problem, which would apply more to the bad habits, vices, and addictions. But we have the hummingbird here saying it's time for you to learn and grow, especially spiritually. Next to that, we have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is the analysis paralysis card for me. So you have choices. You don't want to make a choice. You're thinking and thinking and thinking. I've recently heard that overthinking is a trauma response. I don't know. You'll have to come to your own conclusions on that. Do your research. You've got the hummingbird there telling you to learn things. Maybe you should try and learn some things about healing. I don't know what your particular issues are, but find out. I recently learned some things about my particular issues that I did not know. And that's been kind of a big thing for me, even though on the outside it looks like nothing has changed. All right, so the next card is the Page of Wands. I sometimes, well, the Page of Wands in this deck looks to me more like the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands in this deck is very, very inappropriate. So I'm not using it as the Queen. In any case, so we have here this Queen of Wands who is strong and happy and cheerful and charismatic and passionate, perhaps short-tempered and impatient at times. And this, for some reason, this Queen of Wands is a blockage for you. This Queen of Wands is located next to the star. The star can indicate healing, miracles, and also your connection to the divine or divine connections, such as soul connections. And the fact that it's next to a Queen of Wands makes me think that you do feel you are in a soul connection with a Queen of Wands, and this is the source of your indecision. This Queen of Wands and this healing, miracles, change, the things you don't want to do. And of course, here we have the Two of Pentacles again. Change. So if this sounds like your situation, then this reading is for you. Let's get into it and see what message the divine has for you today. What message does the divine want to tell you today over this reading? Whenever you find this reading. Seven of Wands. Sideways. Are you truly under attack? Well, I got a response. Okay. Oh, the Empress landed. The Empress and Deception landed right on top of the Seven of Wands. I don't know why all your cards are coming out sideways. Except for the Six of Wands. Try to straighten these up. All these wands. And a Queen of Cups. Perhaps it's your own inner Queen of Cups. Based on the cards from the beginning of the reading, I think this is an aspect of yourself that you have not developed. All right, let's see. So I asked if you think you're under attack, and I got The Seven of Swords, deception, and the Empress. Both of these are sideways as blockages. And then we have the Six of Wands, success. I can see you wanting success in defending yourself and success with an Empress. But successfully overcoming deception, perhaps? Or, let's see, this is the Seven of Swords. Are you trying to overcome your own sneaky behavior? I think I need some clarification on this Seven of Swords. Or is it just that you want to be successful at all costs? Because that's not going to lead to success with your Empress. And it will lead to more reason for feeling under attack, at least in the long run. Clearly you do want progress. The Chariot is here. The Chariot is also a card of success. And now we have the Queen of Discs, who is very naked. Very naked and very pregnant. Is that what the Seven of Swords is about? You feel like someone has trapped you with a pregnancy? Well, that is a big deal. On a side note, you can be male or female and trapped with pregnancy. Another six. Six of Cups. Innocence. So children are a big factor here. King of Swords in reverse. Feeling a lack of authority, a lack of strength, and frankly a lack of spine. So the King of Swords should be someone who is decisive and capable of great discernment. And I'm getting the sense that that is lacking in your situation. Or has been lacking if you've been trapped with a pregnancy. Eight of Discs, dedication. Yes, you have a lot of learning ahead of you, a lot of work to do. Perhaps you've begun your work. So we have this this Queen of Cups. I'm not sure if that's another person or if that's an aspect of yourself. Again, gender does not apply to tarot. Regardless of whether the cards show male or female, you can be a queen or a king. That's why I like that deck that uses seed, root, flower, harvest instead of the names of the court cards, because there's no gender associated with them, and there shouldn't be with this either. Although the pregnancy thing is important, but again, you can be male or female and trapped with a pregnancy. In any case, perhaps you have this between two success cards. Perhaps your intuition is trying to lead you to success. Perhaps you are beginning to learn to listen to your intuition and to work with it. And that's what this Eight of Discs is trying to say. To keep going with your intuition. Let it lead you. You don't seem to have discernment here, so. But you're only a Princess of Cups. You're only just beginning to learn how to do it. And you're not very happy. But this is the Sun card, so it's not a terrible card. I can't believe it. Okay. Guess what showed up again? Two of Pentacles, or Discs, whatever they're called. Time for you to change. I'm not sure whether it came out in reverse or not, but it doesn't really matter. Because change is a big, big issue for you. It looks like this is your goal. The Emperor. The Emperor does have discernment. The Emperor has intuition. And the Emperor, of course, has success. And has a natural sense of order. Not an artificial one. Don't get me wrong. Using an artificial form of order or organization can be very helpful to you. But the Emperor is not arbitrary. Whatever the Emperor chooses will be for the best of everyone involved, not for selfishness. It looks like you have a lot of work to do. I wish you luck if you truly have been trapped in a pregnancy situation, whether you are male or female. And yes, you do have to consider what's best for any children that are involved in this. This is a fawn, so perhaps there are two children, an older one and a younger one. Or maybe just one, or maybe several. In any case, yes, the Emperor would take care of the children first. It looks like the major advice is to listen to your intuition and be willing to change. Perhaps you've already figured that out, because it keeps coming up over and over and over again. Not even just in this reading. All right, I'm going to leave it here. I don't know what else to say to you, except good luck.